Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, so you are welcome to church friends. You're welcome. We are happy to have you here. I
yeah,
really appreciate that you are able to make our time to be here with us to help
yeah,
educate a lot of people. After seeing what you are interested in talking about, I'm convinced that it is going to help a lot of people, especially young people. So
okay,
I'm grateful that you decided to do this with us. God bless you. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Thank you. So without wasting time, I want you to briefly introduce yourself to us so that people that don't know you will know you.
Yes, I'm Ambassador Bola Vivian Abiodun, and I've worked in several places, and especially in Europe. I worked in Nigeria too, various organizations. I worked in Lagos Sheraton. I own my own tourism outfit and also security outfit in Rwanda.
Wow.
So, and I've not been happy with the way things have been going in the country, especially in the area of leadership. And I'm very concerned about our youth because I feel that if we have proper leadership, we shouldn't be talking of unemployment
Yeah,
in
true.
Nigeria because we have everything. We have good weather, there's sunlight. Why should we be complaining of no light? For example, where we can, tap from the sun, solar energy, which other countries are, especially in Europe, they hardly have sun, but they are able to, find their way around so many things. Talk of countries like Finland, for example, Iceland, and all these other countries, they hardly have sunshine. But here we are with a lot of sunshine all over the place, and we are not able to make use of it. We still complaining of power shortage and so on. So I think the problem is that leadership in Nigeria, we really need to look inward. We need to look inwardly, and we need to be more innovative. A lot of people are just sitting down, lagging away. They are not being creative enough, innovative enough, and it's so unfortunate that you have a lot of youth going into criminality, going into crime. Why? In Europe, for example, if you leave your university, or maybe you left maybe polytechnic or whatever, if you don't have job, you go for volunteer service. You go for volunteer service. Some volunteer service, they can even be giving you stipends, support. Yeah, you find out that in Nigeria, a lot of our youth are just lagging the way. Maybe when they come out of university or come out of polytechnic, they have nothing doing. Why can't government organize for such youth, to go for volunteer services and maybe support them with stipends for the meantime till they're able to secure a proper job? The volunteer service, maybe with the fire service and so many other hospitals, maybe support services. You can engage the youth in that way, rather than a lot of youth lagging away, no nothing doing. So I think there's a big problem with leadership in Nigeria. A lot of people that are in our leadership circle, they are not even qualified to start with. They are not qualified. You hear of certificate racketeering and all sorts of things. Most of them that are in that position, they are not qualified to be there. Let us even start from there. I know the President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, for example. I schooled the University of Rwanda. I stayed in Rwanda for a long time. See the leadership there. Paul Kagame can never employ somebody to be a minister. if he does not know your background, where you are coming from, what is your antecedent? He can't just carry you as my uncle, sister, or a man no man. They don't do all those type of things there. All his ministers, they are all qualified to be there. That's why you see them giving quality services. In most times, he even goes to and fetch his ministers from abroad. They have worked in international organizations. So they are vast in knowledge. They are experienced. But you find out that what we are doing in Nigeria, we put ministers, give appointment according to man no man. Some even will go and get their girlfriends and give them position. At the end of the day, nothing is coming out of it. Eye service all over the place. Oh, when Oga is coming, everybody will be running. Pa, 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 pa. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. Go to Rwanda, go and see what is happening there. Is it in the area of technology? Is it in the area of education? Is it in the area of science? Even sports, even though they are now they are not all that gifted in sports, but because the president is always injecting money into sports, you understand me? The sports is getting up small, small. Very soon, one day you see Rwanda will beat Super Eagles in football with the way it's going. Very, very soon. Because all their players, they use chartered flights. He provides chartered flights for his players. They are well catered for. So I don't know what's wrong with Nigeria. Is it that our leaders they deliberately want this country to crash? Is it that they deliberately want this country to crash? Because the way I'm seeing it is like they are moving with their two eyes closed. That's the way I see our leaders. Like they are moving with their two eyes closed. They don't even look at other African countries around them. Let's not even talk of America, London, and let's talk of other African countries now. You see me all this while I've been talking of African countries. Because if I want to talk of Europe now, they'll say, okay, Europe, they are already advanced. Why should I compare Nigeria? But a lot of African countries now, they are getting up. They are putting the right pegs in the right hole. Nigeria is remaining a lot of homes now. They are in darkness as we are speaking now, no light. And there's a lot of sunshine outside. Why can't we tap into it and get our solar energy? Tap it and get solar energy. And get people having 24 hours light. So, everything we are doing, I watch your program a lot. And most of it will bring ministers and they'll be talking spirituality all the time. I watch it. I'm inspired. I'm also a lady that I have calling by God. But you see, I can never put the cat before the horse.
Okay, let me ask you
yes.
From what you have explained right now, all you have been talking about, do you think that Nigeria's problem is spiritual?
See, like I've been saying, you cannot be talking of spiritual when a lot of people are hungry, for example. Even if you look at countries now like Europe, where I base in Europe, a lot of European countries now, you find that they don't even go to church on Sunday anymore. If you come out on any of these European countries on Sunday, you can hardly count with your hand how many people are going to church. Why? Because all what they need, they have it already. You find out that why people are going to church more in Africa, in Nigeria, because they lack a lot of things. In Europe, they have all the things. They have light, they have health, they have education. Everything is going on for them. So I think the thing that makes people, and that is why you see our pastors, they know what the right thing to do, but they will not do it, so that the people will keep on coming to church, spending their money. Because if everything is okay, if they go and advise the president, they do this and do that, the right things, maybe when the people are satisfied, they have good job, they are living well, they will not come to church again. So I think even the pastors too are also joining hand with our leaders to make everything chaotic for the populace. That's just the way I see it.
Wow.
Because if everything is okay, you are feeding well, you have good your children are going to school, you have the money, probably you will not go to church that much anymore, because that's what is happening in Europe now. Most churches are turning into restaurant and museum. They're turning into
Hmm.
where people will go and cinemas, because they have what everything they need. They have it. Even if you don't have a job now in Europe, they will give you at least maybe 200 euro or something
Ah,
to manage yourself. They'll give you something, some stipends to manage yourself. Maybe 200 euro, maybe 400 euro. You understand me? So manage yourself for the week. Every week you go and
wow.
collect that, so
Every
that you'll be
week.
able to, yes, so that you'll be able to get your toiletries, your groceries, and
Hmm.
put one or two things together. You understand me? So they support their citizens with that, those that don't have job.
So
So
are
yeah,
you indirectly saying now that if our government start doing things right in Nigeria, that it is possible that most churches in Nigeria will also close down, because people will understand that most of their problems are not even spiritual, but because of the incompetence of our politicians.
okay, let me say for example now, like Peter Obi has been saying that we want to industrialize Nigeria if he comes
Mm.
into position. Now, if Nigeria is industrialized, are you going to tell me somebody that go on, because most industries they even open more in the night, they work in the night.
True.
Now, a lot of them now will go to work in the night. So that means a lot of night vigil. Customers for night vigil will have reduced, because
Yes,
most of
yes,
them,
yes.
maybe textile industry or clothing industry are producing the clothes in the night in the factory. So half of the people that are going to night vigil, it will reduce, because they are inside their office, they are working. So people will be busy, not just because of say they don't want to go to church, because they are engaged. You will even find a lot of people now going maybe for online services, the more, because maybe when they are in the factory, they will now put on their internet and be watching the pastor online. They'll be doing online service because they are at work. So those are the things that will go on if Nigeria is, more engaged. If our citizens are more engaged actively, they will not have time for things of ignorance, poverty, and poverty mentality will reduce.
Wow. Okay. So I want to ask. I should have asked this question earlier, but with the way the conversation went, I couldn't ask it.
Yes.
Why are you so passionate about Nigeria? Because see, a lot of people have given up on Nigeria, but I constantly hear you talking about Nigeria, talking about how things are not going well. Why are you so passionate about Nigeria?
I'm so passionate about Nigeria because like I told you, I go a lot, I travel out and I see many. I just wonder sometimes that some of these countries abroad, they are really no better than Nigeria. The only thing that is there is that they have good leadership. So I begin to wonder that if only Nigeria can have good leadership, a lot of these things will turn around for us. I mentioned Finland, I mentioned Iceland, I mentioned other countries. They don't have all these things that we have. So it's just for us to have the real, leadership going for us, to turn a lot of these things around, to make us happy. I'm not happy that a lot of people are not happy. That's one thing. And I have a lot of ideas, that have been given to the government severally. Like when I was in Europe, I sent a message to Senate President Akpabio. I sent a kind of letter to the Senate, telling him that, look, this and this and this and this can be done for our youth. Because I remember when he was governor of Akwa Ibom State, he did a lot of things for youth development. But as the Senate president now, I'm not really seeing these things going on. And I'm not happy. So I begin to think, okay, let me go into some forums, let them know that I'm making efforts. There are things we can do for our youth, engage them, positively. And all this crime you see happening all around the place, it will be a thing of the past. Engage them, positively. And all this crime.
Okay. So the next question I want to ask, you spoke about Rwanda. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you spoke about Rwanda. So I want to ask, do you think that Nigeria can ever be like Rwanda, or that Nigeria can ever be as organized as Rwanda?
The thing there is that Rwanda have gone through a lot of challenges. They've gone through war. And even though we went through war, Biafra war, we learnt nothing from the war we went through. But Rwanda, the war they went through, the genocide and all that, they've gone through a lot. And they now, think about, put it into history. Now, a lot of things that happened, Nigeria is there. I don't know whether we are still doing history anymore in the school, because those are part of the challenges. When you try to, banish history from the curriculum, then that means a lot of people, they cannot have what they call sober reflection. You see a lot of Rwandese, they have sober reflection all the time of their past. But Nigeria now, our students, they don't do history anymore. So they just jumping up and down, doing disco and doing music. It's not that it's not good to dance and be joyful, but sometimes we need to be sober and have a sober reflection. And that can only be done when we study history, when we reflect on the past. Okay, this is what our elders have suffered. This is what they went through. Then you now think, okay, how can we, forge ahead? How can we make a better future? But when there's no history, how can the people make a reflection? A lot of us, we have nothing to reflect on. That is part of the thing that is affecting us in the country. We live a superficial life. We live a superficial life. If you have sober things to reflect on, then you will be cautious. You understand me? You be more careful with the things that you do. But in this Nigeria, we are not like that, because our history has been banished. We don't have history. We are living a pretentious life, a superficial life. So that's the problem we have in the country now.
Okay, you spoke about men of God and some ministers talking about that about Nigeria problem being spiritual. Do you think that religion is harming the progress of Nigeria? Because you come to Nigeria, you hear Muslims are attacking Christians, Christians are attacking Muslims. A lot of confusion all over because of religion. Do you think that religion is harming the progress of Nigeria?
To a large extent, I will say yes. And the problem is that the people that are giving us the sermons, are they sincere themselves? That's the problem. Are they actually sincere? A lot of the people giving these sermons, a lot of them need to be examined. For example, in Rwanda, you cannot open church. Just you say you have calling, this and that, begin to put pan together and try to erect a church. It's not done there. You have to go through the rudiments. You will feel form tire, according to how they say it in Nigeria Palace. You will feel form tire. You can't just carry church and begin to open. The way they open hospital is the way you open church in Rwanda. They will check you. Well, where are you coming from? Where you went to theology school? Which theology school? They will go. You will collect the form, fill it. You have to wait. Some people will deliberate on the matter before you now be allowed to go and open your church.
Wow.
So
This
that is
this is serious.
yes. That that is why you see that in Rwanda you don't see, and then they don't even allow night vigil. Night vigil say
Wow.
it's noise pollution. They say it's noise pollution, so they don't allow night vigil anywhere in Rwanda. All your churches must be done in the daytime. So everything is checkmated in that country. They don't do things anyhow. And you know that their money.
This thing you said now, if they start
Yes.
implementing it in Nigeria, I think even CAN should adopt, the Christian Association of Nigeria should adopt it. But if you start it, they will say you are fighting the church in Nigeria. How will they deal with something like
It
this?
has
Or
to
how
start.
will something like that happen?
It has to start with the leader. There was a time we had a president in this country. No, it was not. It was vice president. His name was Idi Agbon. He was vice president then to Buhari when he was in the military.
Military head of state.
Idi Agbon, it was his vice when he was a military head of state. That man does not tolerate nonsense. Everybody knows him. They even say he only laugh once in a year. Idi Agbon, today Idi Agbon. They say only laugh once in a year on Christmas Day. After that, he does no more laugh till the next Christmas Day again. So if leaders like that they don't tolerate nonsense. If we have such a person as our leader, I don't think all these things will be happening. As far as I'm concerned now in this Nigeria, we are on hypothesis. We don't have proper leadership. We are on hypothesis. And I should have expected, Buhari to hand over to Osinbajo, for example. Because the few time President Buhari traveled out of the country to Europe when he was not feeling well, Osinbajo handled the country perfectly well. All the security sector, he put them in shape, in position. So I should have, by now, if we have somebody like Osinbajo as our president, all what we are going through now, we will not be going through it. All this our people, Japa up and down, Japa syndrome will not be there. Or the hospital, they put it in order. Our nurses, they will remain here and work. Our doctors will remain here and work. Everybody leaving the country to go and work in Europe, they will remain in Nigeria and work.
Don't you think that the system may even suffocate Osinbajo, even though he becomes the president, or Peter Obi? Don't you think that? Because if you listen to what Professor Lumumba said one time, he said that corruption in Africa is like an institution. So don't you think that the system may suffocate these people if they get into power?
Like I told you before, if you get a person that is like Idi Agbon studied, was it economics or so in Pakistan? Former president that was under Buhari. I don't know Buhari's qualification education-wise, but he's vice president then. Idi Agbon, I think he read economics in Pakistan, even as a soldier. Osinbajo is also very, very educated. So you need to be educated, well-grounded. That's number one. I'm not saying that is what will solve the problem, but you have to be grounded educationally. Why Osinbajo succeeded that few times when Buhari traveled out was because they know that Osinbajo is educated. So anything his certificate is not a Oluwole certificate. So any instruction he give them, they will follow it. They know his certificate is not Oluwole certificate. He actually went to school. He was a professor and all that. So also Peter Obi and whoever, my challenge with Peter Obi coming in is that for somebody like Peter Obi to come in, a lot of the things in the system need to be organized. If we have somebody like an Osinbajo, for example, in front first, put things in order, because things are not in order. The same problem Goodluck Jonathan faces is what Peter Obi will face if things are not put in order before he becomes president.
Okay.
You understand
me?
Do
you think Peter Obi has what it takes to rule this country?
Yes, he has what it takes to rule the country. But a lot of things, you see, once you are a president, there's three arms of government. There's legislature, there's executive, and there's judiciary. Three arms of government. So that three arm of government now, the legislature and the judiciary, if things are not put in order for that two arm of government, there's nothing executive we can do. For example, our constitution, we need a new constitution. And that is the work of the legislature to create law. So in a situation whereby we are still using the 1979 constitution, which they say the people say, when it's not the people that said so, it's a group of military people that came together and make decree and make law. You understand me? So we need proper people to come from all angles of the country and make a new constitution. Then somebody like Peter Obi now will now come and rule the country. Because as it is now, if he comes in, the security, see the people in the security sector, we have more people from the north in the security than the south. Why should it be so? We have a lot of people from the south who want to join army, but they want to join a well-organized army, not a tribalistic army, a tribal army, whereby when you are there, it's only Hausa you be made to learn. Instead of all of them to speak English, you go to some place, they will speak Hausa for money tonight. Go to immigration, go to custom, they speak Hausa for money tonight. So all these things, we have to bring it. I told you I run a security outfit. There must not be tribalism in anything security. Everything have to be straightforward and everybody have to be sincere.
But do you think that is possible? Because tribalism in Nigeria is really one of the major problems we are facing. Do you think we can be able to achieve that?
That is what I'm trying to say. That when we now draft a brand new constitution, all these things will be put into it. You understand me? And why I personally kept on saying Osinbajo is the type of person, if he comes in now, maybe the way Ernest Shonekan came in. I don't know whether you know Ernest Shonekan that came in when Babangida left. He was asked to come in for some time to be our president because they can't be vacuum in presidency. When Babangida left, the Ernest Shonekan came, before Abacha now came and drove him out. If we have a kind of a president, that can come, to come and do intervention, to put things in order, that's what I expect our military, all our government agencies come together, make an arrangement for somebody like Osinbajo to come in as an interventionist so that all those anomalies in the system, they put it right. If they look at it that, okay, now we cannot continue as a nation, we need to go as North Nigeria and South Nigeria. That's two countries. If he looks at it, so well and fine, we can divide and have two countries, Northern Nigeria and Southern Nigeria. And that's what the people will come and deliberate upon. That, okay, the way it's going now, we cannot operate as one country again. After they have deliberated, then they will not think of how they're going to run as two different countries. Like in Sudan, you have Northern Sudan and you have South Sudan, something like that. So that everybody will have their own peace. Igbo and Yoruba, they'll be in one place. North Central and East, Northeast, and they will be in one country. If that's the way, if they have deliberated, yes.
If you say Igbo and Yoruba should be in one place, I believe that will not work because if you look at what is happening in Lagos, Lagosians are asking Igbos to leave. So how can they be able to coexist? So
coexist. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. That's what I'm saying. What I'm also saying now, is a suggestion. It's not like it's just a suggestion because the best way we are to go now in this country now is to have Northern Nigeria and Southern Nigeria. And Igbo and Yoruba, they are Southern Nigeria. With all this Delta and South and all this, they will all be one country. I think one of the major problem I think we have is the insecurity issue. If the insecurity issue is there, don't you have Yoruba and Igbo getting married every day by day? Go to the churches, you will see Yoruba and Igbo, they are getting married. And the governor of Lagos State, his son is married to an Igbo lady.
You are
So
correct.
I don't really see, to me, I know it's a problem, but I don't see it as an integral problem. The problem I
Yeah.
see that is integral is the security. If the security can be handled, for example, in Lagos now, there are so many things people can do. Tourism is there. Everybody is putting their head into politics, because they think that's the only way to make money. Other angles to make money, nobody is looking at it. By the time you free everybody to move, everybody will not be crowded on top of politics. Some will go into farming. If you look at US, the richest people in America are farmers, because of the kind of farming that they do, big time farming. So if some of us go into farming, the other people go into tourism, you have less people talking about, I want to be governor, I want to be governor, I want to be governor, because they are busy with their business. So a lot of things is hampered in Nigeria, for example, because of insecurity. People are having low profits, low yields. So because of that now, everybody is putting their head into politics. Say, maybe in politics go help them achieve their aim or get the money they want. Whereas in that business they are doing, whether you're a musician, whether you're an actor, whether you're a basketballer, whether you're a football, you can from with that in that industry, your head can touch the sky with that industry. Go abroad, go and see some people. Some they only know how to draw, paint and draw. They make a lot of money. Artists, some basketballers, they make a lot of money. Some footballers, they make a lot of money. Some even presidents sef cannot stand where they are. So the problem in Nigeria, insecurity is making people have low yields, low profits in their various businesses.
Wow. This thing,
Yeah,
it has become, I don't even know what to say again. The problem of Nigeria is too much. The problem of
yeah.
Nigeria is too much. But let me ask this one quickly before we talk about something else. I believe you heard the issue between Senator Natasha and
Yeah,
Akpabio. What do you think
yeah.
about that situation?
Well, my own personal opinion, when I looked into the matter, number one, if I should give my own logical conclusion, Senator Natasha, she's not matured enough to be a senator.
Hmm.
Yes, she might be matured enough to be a minister or a commissioner. I learned she was in the House of Rep before. But to be a senator, she's not matured enough. It takes a lot of dexterity and maturity to be a senator. It
Hmm.
takes a lot. She's not experienced
Okay, you are
enough
saying
to
people
be
will
a,
attack
because
you.
she
You are
was
the first person
into.
saying, hello. I say you're actually one of the first people saying this thing because if you look at everybody is actually supporting Senator Natasha.
Yes, because a lot of people will be supporting her, because a lot of people are not, exposed enough. They don't know what it entails to be a senator. I told a lot of things in Nigeria is done wrongly. They don't know what it entails to be a senator. It takes a lot. You have to be experienced in other climes. Before you become a senator, maybe you have been a director, a DG. You have spent many years in the ministry, you become a DG. What was Natasha's job before? She was a contractor repairing roads and everything. That doesn't qualify you to become a senator. You need a lot of experience. You need a varied, vast. You have to be vast to become a senator. It's not my work. So, and then above that, This problem now that she says she has with the Senate, the Akpabio now in the Senate, as far as I'm concerned, you are a lady. There are other women too in the Senate. Why didn't she go and report to the senior women in the Senate that were there before she came, rather than carry the matter to International Parliamentary Union? Why didn't she report to? There's one woman there, Mrs. Bumi. I don't know her surname. Mrs. Bumi, one elderly woman that's a senator there. Why didn't she go and report to matured? Because if I am in her position, that's what I would do. Report to one of our senior women. If she doesn't want to report to this other woman, what's her name? I've forgotten now. One of these other senators, she can report to me, Madam Bumi, the eldest female senator there. She can report to that woman. And you just imagine if because of Natasha, the 4 women in the Senate, they walk out on the assembly. Just imagine what will happen because of Natasha. If those 4 women walk out on the assembly, will it not be higher than what Natasha went to carry the matter to International Parliamentary Union? Will it not be higher than that if 4 of them walk out on the Senate because of her? Say they are not happy. Men want to oppress them. It's misogyny. They carry themselves, 4 of them, they walk out on the parliament. Would it not be better? Okay, now you don't have support of even the women that are there. Is it the men that will support you? If the women don't support you, is it the men now that will support you? So she has gotten a lot of things wrong. She doesn't listen to advice the way I heard about it, and she's also inexperienced. To my own decision, she's inexperienced to be a senator. She's not matured to be a senator. So it's even a wrong thing for her to be in that place because she lacks experience. Number one, the way I see it is like she's pursuing something else. And there's nothing wrong if she has a high ambition. Maybe she wants to be a president in the future and all that. There's nothing wrong. All of us have our own ambition, what we want to be. You understand me? Because the way I see it, she has another plan. It's not about her problem with Akpabio. She has another plan. And she has an ulterior motive. So which you have to let the whole world know. Because Akpabio is not the first person she has accused. There was another man, Omokri. She also accused Omokri before of this same sexual assault. So, wow. As far as I'm concerned, the way she is going, she's not going to leave a footprint in the sand of times for women. Very soon, because of Natasha now, any woman that is coming to Senate, they'll say, let them go and have their brain examined first before you come and collect Senate post. That's the way she's going now. That's what they'll be telling other women, that because of Natasha, they should go and have their brain examined first. So, number one, she's also very hyper. That day when she was having that problem with Akpabio, people were trying to calm her down. Madam, calm down, calm down. She was, fighting with them, struggling with them. She's also very hyper. A senator, you need to be matured. You have to, that's the first thing as a senator. Extremely a matured person. You have seen it all in life. You are very experienced. And if I was in her position, I would not even be talking of all these things she's saying, they sexually assault her, this and that. Where is your evidence? And in Africa is not Europe. Before you say, maybe they have seen one place, the man tore your bra or something. You understand me? There must be a tangible evidence that you will give. Yeah. You can't just say, make phone call to me, this and that. That will not hold water. In Africa, maybe in Europe, it might hold water in Europe. But in Africa, they will have to see a very, very strong argument, that maybe he rape you or something, or he tear your bra or tear your pant or something. When you don't have such this thing and you keep on saying this, people will just, look at you like a very funny person. So that's just my own opinion on the issue. She lack maturity, number one, and in as much as other women in the Senate are not joining hand to fight for her, she might be on the way out and lose the case. That's the way I see it.
Well, do
Because
you
women are not
think that
supporting her
women?
there.
Okay, you can continue.
Women are not supporting her there. If the people that you are talking of that are supporting her are all these youths that are also inexperienced, Gen Z, they are all Gen Z like her. She was born in 1979. They are all Gen Z like her. They support her to go to Senate, carry her husband, be kissing. They will be kissing inside Senate. Is a Senate restaurant or is it hotel? Okay, from your parlor to your bedroom in your house, is it not sufficient for you to kiss your husband inside your house, inside your flat, until you have to come to Senate and come and kiss your husband inside? So they are all Gen Z like her, so they will support her. She was born in 1979, so they are all Gen Z like her, they will support her. Millennials and Gen Z, they will all support her.
Okay, so please, do you think that women have a role to play? Has a role to play in the transformation and rebuilding of Nigeria?
Nigeria, yes, definitely, because Nigeria is a patriarchal society whereby the men are all over the place, muscling everywhere. We have few women in leadership position, in the echelon of leadership. So the challenge there is that if you look at countries like Rwanda, for example, almost 70% of the people in the parliament are women. I don't know whether you are aware of that.
Yeah.
60 to 70% of the people in the parliament are women in Rwanda. And even their ministers too, majority of them too are women. So you find out that, because when I lived there, I found out that their men, they have this mentality like our Igbo men in Nigeria. They like business. Their men like business. In fact, when I interview one or two of them, he said that why will he go and be doing government work when he can pay the salary, a minister's salary, can pay 5 ministers their salary? Why will he go and do government job? I actually interviewed one of them when I was living there, when I was a student. He said that he can pay 5 ministers, he can pay 10 senators their salary. So why will he? So they have this mentality of our Igbo men. They are all into business. That's why you see that most of those vacancy now women, they do them because they are not interested. They are interested in doing business and making big money. So you find that the women that are doing government work, pursuing government appointment up and down, because most of the men, they are not interested really. They are interested in business. So it's not as if their men are not weak. Their men are not weak. Because you might just wonder, why are there women everywhere? What happened to their men? Their men are not weak, but their men are not really interested in government position or that. They are interested in doing business. So
But do you think it's
that's it.
because the reason why men are not interested over there is because they don't have the opportunity to steal money like it is in Nigeria?
Well, that is another very good question, because the accounting in Rwanda is not like the way they do it in Nigeria. Every account must balance. Every account must balance. There's not all this stealing money and all those things. So you are very right for that question. The opportunity to steal excess is not allowed there. It's not allowed there. Everything is accounted for. Yes, that is the reason why it is like
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay, wow. So I have another important question, but before then, I would like to appreciate the people that have been tuning in to watch and the people that have shared. I want to say thank you so much. We have a lot we are supposed to cover, but time is on our side, is against us right now. But I'm going to ask one important question that I want you to at least answer before you go. For instance,
Mm.
if you are given the opportunity to be the president of Nigeria for 1 year, what are the things you would change and the policies you would like to implement?
Yes. If I'm given that opportunity, I would like to follow Paul Kagame, footstep, because I'm a student, or how will I put it? He's somebody I actually look up to, Paul Kagame. Number one, he's a disciplinarian, because one of the reasons why a lot of people do the way they do in Nigeria is because there's really nobody to look up to. Most of the people that are in leadership, they came with fake certificates, forged certificates. You understand me? For Kagame, he will never tell you he has PhD or he have anything. He's a military man, like everybody know. You understand me? He has never came out and say, I have PhD, I have this, I have that. No. So, and then he is also from a humble background. He's a very humble person. One thing I noticed, like I say in Rwanda, is that they are contented because of the leadership they have. They are contented. How many Rwandese do you see in other countries? How many Rwandese do you see? But you see Nigerians everywhere. So the way you must have a leadership, make your people to be contented. You understand me? Don't
Yeah.
let it's not that you should not have ambition. Yeah, you should be ambitious, but ambitious within your means, not outside your means. Within your means. You will see sometimes Paul Kagame will gather people, begin to talk to them, begin to explain things to them. You don't have that kind of leadership in Nigeria, whereby Bola Tinubu will gather people, take some time, talk to them. This is how life is, this is how life is, this is how life is. So you must be able to, from time to time, discuss with your citizens, either through radio or through television. That's one. I remember when I was young, there was one organization they call MAMSA that was into orientating people in the times of Babangida and this. There was one organization they call it MAMSA for orientation and what reorientation and whatever. So we don't have that. A lot of people, they have a warped mentality, warped idea of things. They want to make money now. It's wrong. So a lot of talking to the people is needed. A lot of orientation is needed. That's number one. Two, food. I will not joke with anything to do with farming. People must feed. In fact, like Obasanjo did Operation Feed the Nation, OFN. I will bring OFN back into the country. Everybody, even the military, soldier, they will go into farming. All that one that they will sit down doing idle, doing nothing. They are doing nothing. They will be in the farm. Army will be in the farm, police will be in the farm, everybody will be in the farm. All hands will be on deck to produce food. That's number two. Number three, I will not, of course, I'm a female. I will not allow our women, to sit idly. I'll make sure that women are educated, because one of the problems we have in Nigeria is that a lot of our women who could have contributed to the society, you understand me, they are not educated, so they cannot contribute. Some of them are very, very intelligent, but at the end of the day, you find that intelligence will go down the drain, because you need to go to university or to go for more higher learning, which she might not have the money. So I will put mechanism in places so that women can access education easily. Then the fourth and not the least, security. I will not joke with security. Definitely the way they do it in Nigeria, that's not the way I will do it. Like if you make me defense minister now in Nigeria now, all people from Colonel upward, I will sack all of them, dismiss them, collect your money. Let me not use the word dismiss, because that would be too harsh. I will send them, okay, retire, go. Anything from lieutenant colonel down is one that will remain. I've said it on various platforms. I'm not afraid, because I went to military school. I went to command secondary school at Ikeja. All our teachers were soldiers. So I'm used to army and I'm used to barracks and I'm used to things, in the military sector. So anything from colonel upward, I will leave them to retire. The highest rank in the army will be lieutenant colonel, so that the whole place will be sanitized. New people, all these young boys all over the whole place, bring all of them into the army, bring all of them into the police, and their salary, I will change it. They have to be well paid. All this, if I don't give them, they don't have much salary, then they will have a place they go and collect food free of charge, so that the small money that they are paid, it can reach them to the, but food, they will not buy food. Semovita, a gallon of oil, all those things, they'll go and collect it. They used to have that in the army before. Napex. Under Buhari, there's what they call Napex. All the soldiers, they go and collect semovita, oil, groundnut oil, all these things, they go and collect it. Garri, what are the other food that you need at home? They go to Napex. When I was young, all the military people hearing me now, they know what I'm talking about. They don't buy food. During Buhari, when he was a military man, soldiers don't buy food. They go to Napex and collect all their food. So the small salary they are giving to them will reach them to manage, because they are not buying food. And again, most of them have accommodation. Not the kind of accommodation they have now that there's no water in the tap. Most barrack now, water is not coming out from their tap. In those days, water is coming out from the tap. You see a policeman, you come back from work, you start shouting, "Oga Dima, Oga, go and buy water." It's not like that before. When they come from work or from their work, they open their tap, carry water, bath, shower, cool down, eat their lunch and rest. Instead of coming for work, begin to shout, calling their pikin name, "Go and buy me water," this and that. All those kind of things is stressful. There's what they call modern day military, modern day policing. You understand me? Until we reach that level, we cannot get good and proper security. So that's the challenge we are having now. Our armies and our police, they are not well remunerated. They are not well paid. So if you pay them, you make sure they have their food, their children. You can even ensure their life. There are some armies in some countries, some police, they are insured, so that they know that this job, when if they die in the process of the job, their children will be well catered for. So they put all their mind into the job, not half and half mind. They put full of their mind into the job, because they know if anything happens to them, the life of their children is guaranteed. They will not suffer. So that's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Matt. The other question I want to ask is that, do you believe that Nigeria will get better?
Well, I don't want to lose hope, because I have no other country. I'm a Nigerian. So I don't want to lose hope. But in as much as we pray, we also have to come out and also talk, so that some people somewhere in the government can hear us out. So we need good leadership. That's number one thing. Once we can get good leadership, then every other thing will fall in place. So that is my own submission.
Okay, so what advice do you have for those people that might have lost hope in Nigeria?
Well, I will tell them to keep on holding on to hope, because, like they say, if somebody does not hold on to hope, he can do something terrible to him or herself. So, like they hold on to religion, they say it's an opium. Religion is an opium. That's something that consoles you. So let them keep on holding on to Christ, or holding on to the God, whatever God they believe in. I believe that things will definitely change in Nigeria. By the time people like me and other people come out, begin to talk like we are talking, I believe some people somewhere, somehow, will listen to us, and a change, will come from there.
Wow. Thank you so much, man. I think
Yeah,
this is one of the best interviews I've ever had. Honestly, there
yeah,
is a lot to learn from you, man. I won't lie. You are like,
yeah.
because I don't know if it is because you have traveled or it is because of your experience or because you are well read. I don't know, but there is a lot that we need,
Yeah.
especially with the young ones. There is a lot we need to learn from you. And I pray that by God's grace,
I'm sure when I told you, I'm sure when I told you that there was a time in the army that they go and collect food, they don't pay. I'm sure you
I
you,
don't know
you
that
know,
one. I've never heard
ah,
of it before.
it's called, go and check in NAPEX. Because
I've
I
never
heard
heard
one
of it.
soldier, I saw one soldier on internet saying he has only 50,000. He has to go and see his family. He have nothing. There was a time in Nigeria army, they don't buy food. Soldiers don't buy food.
Ah,
They go to NAPEX and collect food.
then what has really changed? Because I've never heard of this thing
Is
before.
greediness.
Ah,
Greed is the what cause it, that make the whole system to collapse. Some people are greedy, only want to collect everything for their children and their generation after them. So by the time we can have all these things in position, NAPEX in the army, NAPEX in the police, NAPEX in the in other military security sector, food that have already dealt with feeding and this thing, you see them, they will begin to work properly. The small money they have, they can save from their earning.
you are correct, man. You are correct.
Yes.
You are
So
correct. And
from
I
time
think
to time,
the reason why
anytime you
I
call
think
me, I'm pleased. Even if I'm abroad, I will make chance and come on your program. I've been busy for long. I've been telling you I will be on your program, but I was busy.
oh
So,
please,
but
man,
now,
we
mm,
need to be here again, I beg. Because I know that
okay,
there is more that you have to share with us. There is
yes,
more.
no problem, no problem. All right
There is
then.
more because young
Okay.
people like us, we need to hear this thing more. We
Ah,
need to hear this thing
so
more.
that's it.
Okay.
All
Thank you
right
so much.
then. So from
God
time,
bless you.
I'll always be on your program. Thank you. Bye bye, everybody. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Wow.